What up? What up? You know what time it is? It's open panel time. Looks like we have a caller. Who's this? Crimezilla? What's up, Zilla?
Hey, how's it going?
It is going fabulous. How are you? I'm well. How you doing?
Good, good. What are we talking about tonight?
Whatever you want to. I like to
Oh my
open
gosh.
lines. We never know who's going to call in. Sometimes people can't always catch the live streams, can't always catch the open panels, so we like to keep them coming.
Perfect. I'm with you. Sounds
What's on your
perfect.
mind?
You know, life is crazy.
Life is
It's
crazy.
been a crazy day today. So,
So
being
what?
a behavior therapist, it
How's
can
that?
be crazy.
Walk us through a day as a behavioral therapist.
I work with children with autism, and it can be tough. Some days, today was that day,
One of those tougher days.
tougher days, but we're
Time to
good.
unwind.
Yeah, I am actually. Thank you.
Did you have dinner?
I did. I did. Thank you.
I had tacos. Apparently, Cyber had tacos. Tony, what's up? Says had Planko Cajun chicken fingers. What in the
Ooh,
hell?
nice.
What is Planko?
Is that fish?
I don't know.
I want to say it's fish. I could be wrong.
Cajun chicken. Sounds
Oh,
spicy.
okay.
So far, so good, Mark. So, what have you been up to, Crimezilla? What's going on
You
with you?
I work and just, watching different cases. But right now, just chilling, to
What
be
what
honest.
cases are you covering? Or are you looking into?
I,
Or that you're
you
keeping up with?
know, I have to tell you, I know the Karen Reed is one I've been kind of following.
Okay.
It's gone crazy, though.
I think they're gonna lock her up.
Absolutely, a
They're
hundred.
gonna lock her up,
I,
and I think it's gonna be worse than she ever thought it could be. I think they're gonna get her with
yes.
maybe a little bit of a little something more than manslaughter,
I agree 100%.
especially because she didn't really show any remorse. She's been trying to fool the
She
world.
didn't. And
Not at all.
no. And I feel like she kind of knew what she did. Does that make sense?
Yeah, she may not have been all there when it happened. She might have been in
Right.
some kind of weird kind of rage. And then later on,
Yes.
when it all kind of settled, she's like, "Oh shit, I might have killed him." And if nobody can find him, it's most likely from what I did earlier.
100%. I agree.
Jari's asking who is on the panel, and whenever there's comments on, it doesn't show people's names. But once I take the comments down,
Oh, sorry. I
it
don't
should
think
show your name.
it should be Crimezilla.
There you go.
Sorry. Thank you.
Tony says like a
I
breading, fried breading. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
What's up,
That
Don?
makes sense.
Seven Seas Soup.
I recognize a lot of names. You know me from a year or 2 years ago. I've been on
I know
but
you from way longer than that.
I know
Long ago, from back when I used to hang
ex-
out in Graz's channel.
yes, yes, me too. And but Delphi took such a huge turn,
Yeah.
and to tell you the truth, wow. That's all I'm gonna say.
What do you
But
mean by that?
I don't know if people understand. I'm a behavior therapist, and wow. That's all I'm gonna say about that Delphi case.
Wow for the people who follow it, or wow for the people who participated in it?
Both.
I'll agree with
Both.
that.
I will be 100% honest with your group and people who follow you. I was doxxed, and they called my work, and it affected. I work with minors, and
Mm. You there? Mm, I think we lost Crimezilla.
I'm here.
Oh, there she is.
Sorry.
Continue.
Um, I will say that I, because I work with minors, I'm a behavior therapist for children with autism. I stepped out of Delphi about a year ago because I was doxxed at work, and
Who was attacking you? Do you remember?
I know, and I will tell you offline, but at this point I
Is it
just
anybody that I know and that I trust?
no,
Okay, good,
no, okay? I will tell you that 100% no.
good.
But I was pretty mad. Um I have a channel, and I worked with children's missing missing children, but I had to step away for a year. I just went underground basically. Um
Breaks are
because
good.
I have to protect the children I work with, because I am a behavior therapist, and I can't let people affect the families I work for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's weird because people will act. They'll get kind of inflamed and start targeting people such as yourself, and
Yes.
they'll do it under false pretenses. They'll act like you're some kind of a bad person.
It-
Then they'll put a target on your head, and then they'll start doing really horrible things to you, proving that they are in fact a bad person. You know what I mean?
ab-
So, bunch of hypocritical
Absolutely
psychopaths, really.
right. And I took a year away from YouTube, but I have to tell you, it's important that we're out there sharing these stories. It really is. And
Absolutely.
that's one of the reasons that I'm back in. I just haven't restarted my channel yet.
You have any plans for it?
I'm thinking about it, to be 100% honest. I'm about 50-50 right now. But when you work with children and families, it's I can't be selfish. I work in the behavior field, and I don't want my families affected by this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you will be targeted. for whatever reason.
I I was doxxed at work,
Yeah, that's fucked
basically,
up.
and it was bad. Bad. I lost my job. The
Yeah,
first
bosses, they don't get it. They don't understand it. You know,
no, and
nor should
it,
they. That's not part of their. They don't got to deal with that crap.
100%, I agree. They don't get it. They don't understand why somebody is reporting on one of their. At the time, I was a teacher, so but it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean that
Oh my
sucks.
gosh, CJK, it's great to see you. Thank you.
What's up, country? It's good to see you,
But I
CJK,
have to
Mark,
tell
Don,
you, I
Spain, country
feel
boy.
safe on your platform, by the way, Sleuth. Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Don't go feeling too safe with these YouTubers. Don't let
I,
them gain. Don't let them
you know,
gain your confidence just to get you. You know what I mean?
no, I don't go on many lives anymore. I think it's been about a year. I took a year off of YouTube, so it's been great to step back in. And at some point you gotta say enough's enough, people. So thank you for letting me come on.
Don says, "Crimezilla, that's awful. I would like to catch the person who doxed you
Oh, I
in a dark
remember
alley."
Don Spain. I remember Don. It's a lot of people know my name, and
It's a good one.
it has been hard. I'm just telling you.
It's catchy.
It was. Do you get
Thanks, Derek.
uh, do you get a lot of kickback on there with your for your family? You
My wife's tough. We did at the beginning. It seems like the more
okay?
you care about it, the more they
Mm-hmm.
target you. So I just kind of said, "Fuck it." It's more in the mind, all this fear, but some of it could be real. Some of it gets real, especially when you're vulnerable and people can get
Yeah,
their hands on like your job and things like that.
I
We've just always been in a position where, like for instance, my wife she's like, if you're going to call to snitch on somebody at her job, she's the one that you would talk to. So nobody can do anything to her. And then as far as me, I've always been my own boss for the most part. Can't do
that.
anything to me. And then I've been so worried about my family, like my children. And I know
Yep,
some people will come, but I mean, I was already paranoid. You know what I mean? I'm already
I know.
overprotective and thinking
I
about a
know that
million
feeling,
ways I
and
would tear somebody apart. You know what I mean? If they hurt my family.
I'm so sorry. And when they went after me with my work, they called my school I worked for. I was a teacher, to be honest, for 4 years. And then I've been in the behavior field almost 10 years.
Okay.
So it is, it's hard when they attack you. It's hard.
It is, and I don't understand it. I
I,
don't get it. Well, I mean, I guess
yeah,
I do understand it. I guess it's mental health mixed with people who feel helpless.
exactly.
They're
Now,
overreacting. Let's say you block them. Let's say they
yeah,
overreact. They feel
right.
helpless now. So then they begin
Yeah.
targeting you with any weapon that they can. The only weapon they can use against somebody like a YouTuber is to dox them, to call their work, to call their friends, to call their neighbors. To
And that's what happened. And
It's weird.
what a mess. I lost my job over it.
Yeah,
So
it's awful.
it's that's why I took a year off. But I'm back.
Thanks,
And
Don.
I came back because the work we do is so important to get the information out there. What cases, I apologize, what cases are you working on now?
Well, anything that comes up, but I mean, there's millions of cases that I'm looking at, but the most high profile cases right now, of course, the Brian Koberger case, the Idaho
Yes.
College murders. I'm
And
invested
I'm a
in
100% on that one, by the way.
the Long Island serial killer. I'm invested in that.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
Um, I'm still looking into the Delphi case. I'm still trying to investigate other people who might be involved. So I'm actually digging on that one. Like I'm reaching out to my sources. I'm establishing sources. I'm
Good.
contacting old coworkers of Richard Allen. So I'm
Yeah.
talking with some folks right now, and I'm hoping that it bears fruit. I'm not gonna fantasize about finding anything. That's rule number one. Don't fantasize about solving cases. Just don't do that.
Yeah. Right.
If something great happens and you're able to provide a tip, awesome. But if not, no big deal. But I am digging. I've learned how to establish sources. I've learned how to reach out to people, establish
Good.
communication. I did write a letter to Richard Allen recently.
Oh, you
Um,
did.
yeah, I did.
Good for you.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. If he writes back.
Yeah, I know I'm not the only one.
No,
I'm sure
I
he's
know.
getting love letters. Think about how
What?
sick that is.
Right? And what do you think about Bruce?
Bruce. Who's Bruce?
Not Bruce. I'm sorry. Ellen.
Oh, Richard Allen.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It's really scary. I think he might be a lot like a lot of people out there. A lot of people
Yeah.
might be right on the edge, and that's what scares me. You see a normal guy a middle-aged guy, a family man,
Yes.
no criminal history, and then
It,
this happens. Maybe Richard Allen's asking himself, like, how did I get there? How did I
right.
get to this position where I'm killing two kids, where I'm the sexual deviant? How did I get so fucked up? So me,
Yes.
I'm all about personal responsibility. I'm just like making sure that doesn't ever be, I don't ever become like that, by
Yeah.
remaining healthy, sanctifying Christ in my heart constantly, things like that. You have
Right.
to stay vigilant and active with positive behavior, or the devil will slowly inch his way in without you even knowing it, right?
100%. I believe that. Right.
So that's what I do.
It's, I have to say watching fish from
From the
60
bridge.
miles or not, probably like,
Like 72 feet, I think.
thank you. That ridiculous. Is it possible that he didn't plan this, but went went there that day and saw the opportunity? Yes,
Yes, absolutely.
absolutely.
I mean, that's what happened. I mean, as far
I
as the
agree
evidence,
with
as far as his
you.
conviction, that's what happened. We're dealing with a lone wolf. We don't know the motivation. That's exactly what happened until we can prove otherwise. We can
Ex-
theorize, we can speculate, we can say this and that. We can talk about Keegan Klein till we're blue in the face. But
right.
unless you're willing to dig and do the work, like a lot of people don't know what I do behind the scenes. I'm constantly digging and
Yeah.
trying to get something going, trying to find answers, and I do a lot of that, not just for
Wh-
myself, but for you guys, the crew.
Right. I won't say who was in my group, but there were seven of us for 5 years working on Delphi. 5 years. A, a long time. So,
Heather, let's go to Heather here. Why are there people out there still questioning the family?
right?
Because there's more ignorant people out there than there are folks with common sense, unfortunately. And I'm not here to act like I'm super smart or highly intelligent, high IQ, or anything like that. Like I'm an expert. I mean, I do consider myself an expert on the Delphi case. Um, But
Yes.
the true definition of the word expert is just somebody with like an authority over it. Somebody that's well versed. If you have a
And
question about it, you ask an expert. It doesn't mean that they're a professional in it. It doesn't mean that they've been hired to do it. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you're
yeah,
proficient and knowledgeable about a specific thing.
absolutely. And I, this group and I went down so many rabbit hills with the Delphi case, and we spent almost 6 years on it, to be honest. And it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, and the whole family blaming thing, Heather, I don't know why they do it. I
I
think
don't,
there's more of a market out there for ignorant people, So if you're marketing your
yes,
channel to ignorant people, and I'm not saying you're ignorant if you think Richard Allen is guilty or innocent or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that that's who those people are marketing to. They're not. It's like an atheist preacher, Picture an atheist preacher. He walks into his church and he's preaching the gospel and he's praying and he's passing around the collection plate, but he doesn't even believe in God. He's just doing a marketing scheme. That's how I feel about a lot of these people. I mean, how can you advocate for Abby and Libby and then turn around in the same sentence and blame her sister?
right. And I I will tell you, I spoke with Kelsey personally on the side. There's no way this girl was involved, and shame on people that continue to claim she was. She was not involved in this, and she never would have dropped those girls off if she knew the danger that
Well, it's
came.
lazy. Let's just put it that way. Okay. A lot of people, they're hopeful. They get into true crime and they want to play
Yes,
investigator, but they're not
right.
really willing to do any real work. They do, they do
Exactly.
a couple Google searches and they've done their own investigation and they end up with all of their hard work. They end up with Kelsey at the top of their list. Why is that? Because it's the easiest answer for them,
It is, but
you
it's
know?
not
But
true.
so many idiots believe that if you say
They
it,
do.
you're like the Pied Piper, when he's walking
Right.
through and he's collecting all the mice or
The one
um
thing I
something
can
like that.
say from all the research in 5 years, possibly about 6 years, the family's not involved with this, people. It just wasn't.
And
It was
I'm not
a,
even here to say that. I'm not here to say all that because that's obvious, until
yeah,
evidence changes. I just don't understand why people with no evidence and a hair in Abby's hand after spending a weekend with Kelsey after driving in her car 30 minutes prior to her being kidnapped, her
absolutely.
wearing her clothes. Um,
Yep,
I mean, that kind of stuff happens all the time, getting a
it
hair
is.
wrapped around your finger. So that's not
Right.
evidence. Or her acting strange, to me, that's normal. You should be acting fucking weird.
Yes. Yes. And I agree with that. The
And then
fam-
people calling it real justice, right? It's only real justice. We know Kelsey had something to do with it. We want
right.
real justice for Abby and Libby by attacking the people that she cared about the most. Like fuck you, you
Absolutely.
liar. That's the devil talking right there, right? That double
Absolutely.
speak.
100%. And personally knowing Kelsey and speaking with her on the phone, this girl, she didn't have anything. 100%. A
Well, she's on
hundred.
video. Her car's on video leaving, so I don't know. What did she
Absolutely.
do? Did she drive up the private drive, change her clothes into the bridge guy outfit, somehow cross
Right?
the creek? Like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Oh my God. I
The only
want
way that she's involved is if she was having some kind of secret relationship with Richard Allen and they plotted on Libby for some reason, to keep the secret.
they
But
did. And
it's like, what the
anybody that
hell?
says she had anything to do with it, it's not true.
Well, it's not only
I'm
not true, it's
saying,
just a
uh,
disgusting thing for an adult to say about a
right.
child at the time. She was 16. Her
Yep.
sister and a friend of hers, Abby was her friend. She lost a friend and her sister.
Absolutely 100%.
And I think people don't realize how strong Kelsey is. She came out and she wanted to be the voice. She's like, somebody needs to come out here and address all of this on social media. And she had no clue that the
Yeah.
evil that took her sister and her friends' lives is right here on social media,
Yep.
wearing more masks than Anthony Shots ever did.
Exactly.
That's why I can't tell you guys enough. Do not trust any YouTube content creator. Don't
Mhm.
trust me. Don't, be careful.
Yep. Do the research. You'll see. It comes up. There there is no way Kelsey was involved in this.
Well, there's
Oh,
no evidence. There's no
there
evidence of it. So why accuse her? Oh, she
absolutely.
laughed funny during an interview. She's showing
Well,
signs of
she was
mania.
nervous.
The whole jackets fiasco. I mean, what is
Absolutely.
wrong with these people?
She gave her a coat and a sweatshirt.
Yeah, she's an
It's,
Odinist. I didn't, she's a
and that
Masonic
makes
Odinist.
her bad because she wanted to make sure they were going to be warm. Really, people? It is 100% wrong. They are so barking down the wrong tree if
Well,
they say, for the people I've heard say Kelsey's involved, ridiculous. Turn it off. Don't even watch it. It
but the
is
thing is, a
not.
lot of people out there, that's like confirmation to them when they hear somebody say that. That's what they've been thinking. They're on the same wavelength. That's and most
Oh,
people are on that. And
yes.
that's unfortunate. I'm not trying to sound like an elitist. But when
Yeah.
I started my YouTube channel, I was wet behind the ears just like these people. But one thing I did was I evolved and I learned and I
Yep.
educated myself. I was new to all of this.
Yeah.
Um, so when it comes, you got to be very, very careful. These about re-victimizing people because it's extremely fragile. First off, it's already weird that we're up here on YouTube and we're kind of exploiting all of this true crime, but it's because we're scared. We're trying to educate ourselves and we're trying to prepare
Yep.
ourselves, but we have to be very careful because it's fragile, and we have to
It
make
is.
sure that we make ourselves available. If we're going to create this platform, we need to make sure that it's available and we're open to criticism from the actual family members. And I've had so many people reach out to me that you guys don't know anything about. Um,
Right. And same with me. I had family members reach out, and for sure it it's not. You got to do the research. You got to look into it.
yeah, they don't care about that. It's about this
They
weird
don't.
cult. And if you really look at it, if you take a step back and look at how these people are behaving, I mean, in all honesty, it's evil. You can
It
see it.
is.
When you have
It's
that discernment, and I guarantee I'll task anybody who wants to reach out to one of these Richard Allen hybristophilia clubbers, ask
yes,
them, hey, are you a Christian?
right. I agree.
And I guarantee that they'll tell you no.
Yep, that's 100% true.
And the behavior is proof.
Did things go wrong that day? 100%. Things went way wrong.
Absolutely. I want to give a big shout out to Australia. Heather, what's up, mate? Hope you're having a good lunch. Yeah, I mean things went terrible that day, and I wish we knew more about it.
Yeah,
I just don't know if Richard Allen knew the girls or not. I don't know if he knew them. He spent time at Riley Park. I've been so lost in the Keegan Klein stuff that I might have overlooked. My intuition tells me there was an inappropriate relationship that he was trying
there's
to hide. That could have been with
yes,
Libby. That could have been with Abby. They were
uh,
at Riley Park the day before. Richard Allen loves Riley Park, so I don't know. Maybe he overheard them talking. Maybe he
yep,
was grooming one of the girls, and we didn't even know about it.
exactly. And these people, when they groom people, they're so good at it.
Yeah, they train them. They
And
say,
number one, they thought the girls thought they were dealing with Anthony Schatz, which was a lot younger. Nobody's gonna tell me ever in this case that it's not connected. It is connected. Sorry.
that I don't know.
In
I
my
don't have.
opinion.
In your
From
opinion, yeah. I mean, I feel
yeah,
the same way, but I can't prove it, so I'm not
I
going to get
can't
bogged down.
either, but there is, I don't know. It may not be on phone. We may not be able to ever prove it, but I feel like
I'm
there
trying to.
was a connection somewhere.
So honestly, if anybody out there is watching this and
Yeah,
you know for a fact that Richard Allen and the Kleins are connected, send me an email. I would like to talk with you.
yeah,
Maybe
perfect.
they just need a voice. Maybe nobody's listening to them. Maybe they don't know which avenue to take. The tip
Yep,
line's not open anymore. They shut the tip line down.
they did.
Yep. And they're not interested in Keegan Klein. They're interested in new evidence.
Right.
That's all they care about. They don't care
But
about proof. They don't
that
care about anything.
search in that river was connected to this. Nobody will tell me it wasn't personally, but that search had to be related
Well,
to
Keegan
this.
Klein confessed, right? He confessed and said they threw in a phone and a knife. So, I mean, it was related, but was it
Absolutely.
related to the murders or was it just related to Keegan Klein's lies? You know
No,
what I
it's
mean?
so crazy. And unfortunately, to be honest, we'll never know if it was connected.
Never say never.
Ah, good for you.
Yeah, never say never.
You're right. You're right. At this point, we're not gonna know. Um,
Not if
I
we
s-
just sit around and do nothing, that's for sure.
exactly. I spent almost 6 years going down rabbit holes with five other team members. I'm gonna call them team members, and we did a lot of research, and it never say never. Thank you.
Yep, never say never.
Yep. We hit some dead ends, but a lot of people have with this. Is it connected? We don't know right now, but in the future, maybe we'll know. And I respect you. I've been around a long time, so thank you. It'll be interesting to see.
Oh, sorry, I had you on mute. I said, I do respect you too. Crime. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about? Sorry about that. I was talking and you were on mute. I was
You're
on
okay.
mute.
Thank you.
But yeah, I do respect you too, and I appreciate you saying that.
It's been a long time, so I've been around a long time. but at this point, I to to tell you the truth, the things that I kind of look into now is is there a connection somewhere between Anthony Shots and these girls?
Well, absolutely there is. He's been, he was grooming them, communicating with them. The
It
girls sent them photographs.
exactly. And it's all, it's more in my mind like with you. It's proof. You got to have proof of it.
Mhm.
And
Intuition will only get you so far. It's just kind of
right.
like it's like a compass. You know, it's kind of like
a
the Bible. You could
100%.
read the Bible, but it's only going to point you in a direction. It's not going
Mm,
to create God in your life. You know what I mean? You have to make those moves. It's like a
yeah.
map. You know what I mean?
This whole thing between these two girls, it when I look at the end, because I am a behavior therapist, it just
Thank you, Heather.
saddens me a lot that two teenagers lost their lives for nothing. And it's hard. That's hard
That's
to
why we're here.
swallow.
That's why we're here, because we can't explain it and we don't want it to happen to us.
And we don't want it to happen to our children.
That's what when I say us, that's what I mean. We don't want that. I
Yes.
don't know if I can handle it. I sit back and I watch like Mr. Goncalves and I watch Becky Patty and all of these people. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know. I feel like I would feel like I was at war with God maybe. And I might turn to the
Yes.
dark side, like a vendetta.
It right?
It's scary. But I did talk
It's
to victims' family members on my channel and they tell me it's not like that. Like when it happens, you're just kind of like a prisoner to it. You just got to go with it. It's like
right.
a wave that just kind of picks you up and takes you out down, out to sea. You just got to go with it. There's nothing that you can do about it. You can
Right.
make threats. You can talk about what you would do and what you wouldn't do to the killer. Um, but it's just not like that in reality.
Right. Right.
It was
And
what I'm
I
told. Thank God I don't know. I don't know personally.
right. And I have to say on the family side how difficult it would be to move on. I can't even imagine losing a child to this. And
Yeah,
I
I mean,
say
losing a
child,
child is hard enough. Now
right?
to the hands of a
Exactly.
brutal maniac, I mean, that's just something else. That's a whole different monster.
I exactly. And is Ellen a monster? I'm still trying to figure that out.
And how did he become a monster?
And what happened?
He said he was abused by his grandparents or his grandfather. He said he was sexually abused. I don't know why somebody under psychosis would be that specific.
Right, right. And but does that mean you can take another child's life?
I think that it's an ingredient for
Yeah,
murder. I think early childhood abuse. I think damage to the frontal cortex is um,
absolutely.
another ingredient, at least for psychopathy. And
Yep,
then stressors, mental health,
a
drug
hundred.
abuse.
Yep,
I just don't understand how somebody like Richard Allen, there must be thousands of Richard Allens out there
it's
waiting to
more
hurt a
for
child. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it.
absolutely. And
And for those of you saying that I am Richard Allen out there, shame on you. I hope you're not Richard Allen. Because if
Right.
you are, I don't want you anywhere near me or my family.
Or my children.
I don't want you in my same city.
Yep. Exactly. And there are people who have come
Exactly,
from
Morning.
SA and can go on and lead normal lives. There just is.
Looks like we have Mistress of Wine calling in. Mistress, you're on the air on the Sleuth Intuition channel.
Hi.
What is
Happy
up?
Cinco de Mayo.
Thank you. Same to you. What's on your mind?
So I'm just joining the chat, the whole situation. I don't know what you've been talking about, but I did hear like the remnants of what was going on, and yeah, Richard Allen. I mean, it's quite odd, but also I think also just typical, really, when we really think about it, about the people that are known to do these traits that they always
Hmm.
hold to themselves. I mean, if we can like if we think about I can't think of the guy's name, but the guy in Cleveland that had those three girls kidnapped for all those years in his house and nobody
Hmm.
really expected him. It's almost like it's epitome of Richard Allen. Like nobody expected him. But if they really thought about it, then they could put pieces together, like the Sixth Sense.
Yeah, nobody knew him. I get sick of people saying that. Well, Richard Allen couldn't have done this, couldn't do that. Like, what the fuck do you know about Richard Allen? What do you
Exactly.
know about him when he's alone, sitting on his front porch, drinking his beer? You're not in his head. You don't know what his thoughts are. You don't know where his heart is. He said that he didn't, he was never believed in God, never followed God. Then he commits a murder and gets caught for it, and now all of a sudden he's become religious. You know what I mean? He's just a phony.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
probably never known who he was ever. And that's why he latched on to Kathy. He didn't have an identity, and maybe that stems from being a basket case from the early childhood trauma.
But
That's why I
so
say I think it has an effect. I think it starts there.
I agree with that somewhat, but in that interview where it showed that they brought her in, he was not the lackey in that situation. She was not in control of that situation. He was the boss and he was telling her.
Well, Holman was the boss. Holman was
But
the alpha.
yeah, but when it was just Kathy and Richard, it was Richard that was the boss in that situation. So I don't think the whole he is a pansy ass is.
No, I think he can turn it on. I think she knows that when he gets angry, I think when he gets angry, she knows that he can become the boss. But I think normally he's not. I think normally he's just kind of like hanging on to her leg, you know what I mean? Like just going through the motions. But when he clicks onto that second personality, that monster that's within him, then he's in charge,
Yeah, perhaps.
in
And
my opinion.
perhaps maybe that is why the daughter didn't go into too much detail on the
How
stand.
embarrassing for her. Imagine, let's say Richard Allen was um, hurting her, and God forbid that that was happening. But even if he was doing that, and I truly feel for her, to me, she's the only true victim over there on that side of things. You know what I mean? That poor kid.
I do suspect that there was something going on and that's why.
She's
And
not going to admit it. For the
no,
first time, she's going to admit it to the entire world. No,
no.
that was unfair for them to do that to her because she's not going to be honest either way, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. She was she was manipulated by her mother and grandmother to do that. I think she really had nothing to do wanted to do with the trial at all, but
They
because
probably told her your dad's going to go to prison if you don't. They're going to think he molested you and they're going to think all this bad stuff if you don't come on that stand.
exactly what they
Hmm.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kathy didn't take the stand. His mother in law didn't take the stand.
Well, they couldn't because he had told them, he had confessed to them. So then that could have been brought up.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to talk. I don't think they wanted to give an account of what um, the state of mind Richard Allen was in.
Yeah,
We
I don't.
lost Crimezilla. Thanks, Crimezilla. Thanks for calling in. Real quick, just want to welcome in Warning Label, Jeff H. It's good to see you. See you. Zero Cool. And if I missed you guys, I'm sorry. You have right now, you are listening to Mistress of Wine. So welcome on.
On the flip side, on another case, um, so I don't know if you were familiar with it, but the Temujin, oh gosh, now Kensu case.
How do you, is it
He's
with a K?
it, yeah. Uh, Let me see if I can. So I can't. Temujin Kensu. So
Okay, yeah,
he
I have
is
it up.
like. So he is a Michigan inmate. He was accused of killing a man, a boyfriend of an ex girlfriend. Many podcasters have found him to be wrongfully convicted, including the prosecutors who will convict a spam sandwich.
The Ninja
Um,
Killer?
yes, exactly. But now the murder sheet. So I'm really torn because I really like the murder sheet. I really find them credible for a lot of cases. There's a couple I don't. I also don't
I
agree
agree.
with, but
Well, they
they
do
are
the work.
now, yeah, and now they're coming out with. But so are the prosecutors. Um, so now they're coming out with a series on Temujin Kensu of he's guilty. They're saying no, his conviction
Mm,
is not.
that's
So
interesting. That's reminiscent of like West Memphis 3. I feel like they could still be guilty, you know. Well, technically they are guilty, but I feel like they are. There's a good chance that they were responsible for that murders.
I'm opposite on that opinion, but I mean, but the prosecutors and murder sheet are on the side of guilt. But I don't know. I
Let's
I
see.
don't I don't trust.
1987 murdering Michigan college student despite multiple alibi witnesses. An elaborate theory for how they pulled off the crime. So what was it? Did they have DNA or something? Like, how do
Nope.
you have multiple alibis?
They had an ex-girlfriend that said he threatened the boyfriend multiple times and basically said that he was going to do it. They had a sheriff or investigator that said when they called him to notify him that he said, um, he was killed? Oh my goodness. How did he get killed? Was he shot in a parking lot? Not on tape, of course, but
And that's
he
what
said
happened?
that. Yes.
Oh shit. He knew that. That's inside
No, well,
knowledge.
that's what the investigator said. But I mean, like, I'm sorry, like, investigators want to go close a case all the time.
Yeah, I was
But here's
talking
the
about
thing.
that earlier. They don't care if you're innocent or guilty. They're just collecting evidence, and if they feel like they have enough evidence, they don't accept the responsibility for it. They're like, "What? We just have a pile of evidence here. We have to arrest you, and then we're going to go ahead and hand it over here to the courts." It's up
But
to
here's
them
the
to
thing.
decide.
Here's the thing. There was eyewitnesses, and I think it was like a 3 hour or 5 hour, like it was enough distance away that alibi that he would have had to, like, the prosecution's like excuse to get over the alibi instance is that he hired a plane. Mind you, this guy was on food stamps.
Oh,
So
so that they're
he,
going to turn it into like a Batman
yes, and
scene
because
scene
he
from
was a
Batman.
part of a ninja gang
Hey, just
that
like Batman,
yeah, yeah.
the League of Shadows.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like, yes, it is in the realm of possibility that he would be very susceptible and very guilty. He could be the one that did it. However, he was 3 hours away when it happened. So,
Yeah, you think an alibi would do it for you?
but it didn't.
Didn't
Like
have much to go on. No one saw the shooting
the
place.
jury back in the 80s believed the prosecutors.
No gun. Did they find the gun? It says 12 gauge shotgun, and a 12 gauge shotgun is
They
something
did
that
not
you
find the gun, but they had hit. The ex-girlfriend said that she had seen him with a gun like that.
like a shotgun.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't really pull ballistics off that
No.
unless you leave the shell casing.
There was no gun found. They never found the car that the suspect left in or drove.
Wow, I haven't heard of this one. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that one up. I'm gonna bookmark this. I'm gonna follow up on that, and then I'm gonna check out. Did the murder sheet already put out anything on this, or they're just working on it?
They're well on Patreon. I don't know if it's put out on the main feed yet. The Patreon has released 2 episodes,
Okay.
but the prosecutors did a whole series on it, as well as
Oh, the Prosecutors Podcast.
Yep.
I love that
Eh,
podcast.
huh?
I love that podcast.
Yeah, and they did a series on it, and they found him innocent. And also undisclosed. They did a series on it as well.
How was that?
They also found him innocent, but they don't find anybody guilty.
Yeah, don't you find that funny? Like this, all the people that believe Karen Reed is innocent, it's the same group that believes Brian Koberger is innocent and that Richard Allen is innocent. Have you noticed that?
I do, but to the detriment. Like here is like I think like in this, I mean, they've gotten a lot. Undisclosed really did get a lot of cases right. They have cleared a lot. They've cleared like 10 people.
That's
So
pretty good. Yeah, and
yeah,
if you can, you should, I think.
exactly. It's unfortunate how our justice system works. It's
It sucks.
slow.
It's crap.
Yeah.
I was watching I was during the live stream earlier today, there was a falsely accused person. I didn't get a chance. We ran out of time, so I didn't play the video, but he said that they asked him, do you have any hatred towards the system? He said, no. He's all, the system is fine. He's all, the system is the people. It's the people that run the system. So if the people running the system are bad, the system itself will then be bad. But if it's good people running the system, it'll then be good. And he was saying that they need to focus more on hiring the right people. And I agree with that.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So Murder on Space Coast season 4 just had that focal point released last month. His conviction was overturned. So listen to that case and then listen to uh the latest update for that case of when he was released, and you could hear the judges just like complete like elation of how the prosecutor and that now defense attorney like worked together to come to where they were.
Yeah, it's scary. I've seen a guy get convicted from a blood splatter expert saying that the way that the blood was on a man's shirt, it was kind of like a mist. That the only way that could have happened was from shooting a weapon like a firearm at close range. But the truth is he picked up his wife when he came home. She was shot dead. He picked her up and her hair
Oh, was that
brushed,
cop?
yeah, brushed against him, and it
Yeah.
kind of sprayed his shirt with blood splatter. That was the
Yeah.
only evidence they had against him.
Yeah. And then like he had the alibi from his basketball game too, right?
Yep. He was at a
Yep.
church basketball game. Yep, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and it turned out to be ex
Well,
convict.
like some serial rapist who had
Yep.
a foot fetish.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. That was Michigan too.
Mm-hmm. Took her shoes and everything. That
Yeah.
could be what we're dealing with Richard Allen. Remember his the whole food jacket thing. I don't know how much to look into that, but I mean that's somebody with a foot fetish. So
Oh, is that what food jacket means?
it means somebody that receives sexual pleasure from somebody's feet.
Huh.
I guess
Mm.
it's a thing. It's called a food jacker. I guess that's short
Yeah.
for foot jacker, maybe.
Oh, that's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. But we are
Okay.
at the top. We are at the top of the hour. Is there anything you wanted to finish with?
No, but it was nice talking with you.
Thanks for the call,
First
Mistress.
time call.
That's awesome. It's been great having you in the chat and having you part of the channel.
Thank you. Have a
I
great night.
appreciate it. You too. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. That's what we always like to do. Open up the panels, give everybody an opportunity to speak their piece. Sometimes we have people call in, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have strangers call in and it turns into be a circus, but we've had 2 great calls. Thank you, Crimezilla. And thank you. Wait, hold on, guys. Let me see what my wife wants. Give me 1 second here. Just got to email her back or text her back real quick. All right, just letting her know that I'm finishing up. Apparently, she wants to watch a movie. Okay. All right, Crimezilla, Mistress of Wine. Sorry if anybody was planning on calling in. Like I said, we're going to make this a regular thing. So don't panic if you wanted to call in. It's no big deal. Keith, welcome in. How corrupt the system can be. Yeah, remember, it's not the system, it's the people. People can be corrupt. Sinbad, what up? It's always good to see you, Sinbad. I am vehement. Guilty on Allen and Koberger. But Karen Reed absolutely did not commit a murder. That's absurd. Why is that one absurd? I don't think it's absurd. I think it makes sense. She was drunk. She dropped him off. And he was found right there where she dropped him off. After they had been arguing all day. Her tail light was broken. And there was pieces of tail light all around him. First degree murder? Absolutely not. If anything, it's manslaughter. They might find some, at the most, second degree murder. If they can convince a jury that she was angry and may have had motive. But things like that can happen in the heat of the moment. You know, you could be building up all this anger. And then when you're drunk and you get into some kind of crazy argument, you might be a little crazy. Those are the recipes for disaster, in my opinion. All right, we got 2 more minutes, and then we're out of here, guys. If there's anything else you want to add, please do so in the chat now. Otherwise, shoot me an email, or I have to catch you on the next one. Second degree murder, yeah. I think that could stick, Sinbad. Honestly, I think that that'll stick. Second degree murder. Only because of everything that happened after. You know, she didn't really show any remorse for it. She said, I think I hit him. When they were searching for him, you know, she expected him to be right there in the snow where she hit him because she remembers hitting him. I think she hit him and didn't care. She's like, fuck that dude. I didn't hit him that hard. But when he went missing, she knew. She's like, oh shit. I hit him and he probably died in the snow. So she knew what she did. In my opinion, right? We don't know. It's up to the jury. But that's just the way I feel about it. Sinbad says she wasn't acquitted. If she was acquitted, there wouldn't be a second trial. It was a mistrial or a hung jury or something. I think that might be the same thing. I think a hung jury is a mistrial. And I don't remember what the charges were in the first one. Do you, Sinbad? I don't know if it was second degree murder or first degree. I know when it came to Casey Anthony's case, you know, she's guilty as charged. The only reason she got off is they gave her the wrong charges. They should have gave her second degree murder as well. But once again, I want to give a special thanks to Don Spain, Country Boy. Thank you guys for the Cash Apps. You guys rock. Thank you for supporting my channel. It was good to see you, Heather. Both Heathers, Heather Berman and Heather Swenson. It's always good to see you, Heather Swenson. Big thanks to our callers of the day. And we'll continue to do these quite often. Sinbad says, no, they voted 12-0 for acquittal. She was not acquitted. If she was acquitted, they would have said not guilty. I mean, I could be wrong. But if she was acquitted, there wouldn't be a trial number 2. Unless they had new evidence against her. Wouldn't be the first time I was confused. Says here, in Karen Reed's murder trial, a mistrial was declared after the jury failed to reach a unanimous verdict. Despite multiple days of deliberation, the jury indicated they were deeply divided. That doesn't sound like a 12-0 vote. Says it right here. A mistrial was declared after the jury failed to reach a unanimous verdict. Despite multiple days of deliberation, jury indicated they were deeply divided in their opinions and unable to agree on a consensus. As a result, a new trial was set for Karen Reed. That's different than an acquittal. Now, an acquittal is a court verdict where a judge or jury finds a defendant not guilty. So there's a huge difference there. Yeah, but don't say that she was acquitted, because that's not true. Yeah, I mean, jurors can say whatever they want after the fact, but on the records, it was a mistrial, and they couldn't agree. She wasn't acquitted. If she was acquitted, there wouldn't be another trial. But I digress. Either way, we'll do this again very soon, guys. I'm sure you'll see me tomorrow morning. I have something planned for you, something fun. So I guess I'll see you guys then. Once again, thanks for calling in, and we'll do these often. So don't feel like you missed out on an opportunity to call in. We'll keep these things going. So take care of yourselves. Have a great night, and I'll see you again real soon. Peace.